Welcome to the Investor Impact Power Talks with Vinney Chopra, where investors gather to share their insights and strategies in the world of multifamily, real estate, and beyond. Get ready to be inspired and equipped for your next level of success.
I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate, but guess what? I had zero money at all. Hey there, this is Vinney Chopra. Actually, I came from India with $7 in my pocket, and I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate. But guess what? I had zero money at all. To invest in. So that's when I was getting sick and tired of my W-2 job, and I wanted to start working for me so that I can get, financial freedom. And I know you might be looking into that also. But how I did that was by pooling the money together from different investors. It's called syndication. I started with one investor, and now I have a list of 370 investors. And I started from a duplex of 2 units, duplex, to $440 million in business. And actually, you could get that all from this book I wrote. This Apartment Syndication Made Easy. You could get a free copy of that by going to vcfreebook.com, and you'll be able to get all the tricks and all the strategies that it took me to be able to go from zero money, literally zero money I had, left my job, and also now able to, do all the syndications and purchase a lot of apartment complexes and things like that. So please click the link below in my bio so that you could get this free book, which is at vcfreebook.com. We do go through these phases of life. I know Jim Rohn, I was listening to his talk. My wife also found him on YouTube, and we watch it together. From 60 years back, I think there is this video that Jim Rohn put together when Tony Robbins was 17 years of age as his audience. Tony Robbins was in Jim Rohn's training class, by the way. And I love Jim Rohn. I've listened to him all my life and really loves his drooling speaking. He talks about seasons of life. Seasons of life are the hardships and successes and ups and downs of life. And he just speaks very fluently how we should expect seasons to change. That was his message. I remember many months back when I was watching that particular section. He says, as the seasons change, so will your situation change. You're down and up. Everything is part of life. You got to take it in good stride, chin up, show up, not be lazy, just like you said, but find the solution. Oh boy. Finding the solution and clarity and action. Okay, now we should talk about action now, because we could be down at the bottom and we could go spiral down. I just always say that with a drill, when you make a hole, you put the drill and then you go deeper into the pole or wherever you're doing. That's the same thing with our mind. When we get negative, when we get depressed, when we get stressed, we go in a spiral down in the well of darkness, I call it, or well of agony, or well of anxiety, and well of pressure, and well of not feeling good and being really obligatory to lots of things up. And we say, you know what? I am no good. I am just no good. That's when we need to gratify what you also mentioned just now. Let's give gratitude to we have our limbs, our hands, our eyes, our mouth, our roof over the head. We are able to eat and have family.
Yeah, which is all that really matters, especially we grow into this world where there's a lot of wealth, right? So many people in our network, they have achieved amazing things,
Yes.
and you begin to disconnect. At least for me, it happened where I start living this completely different reality, which of course I was able to grow into because of what I achieved.
Yes.
And I think another like for me, and something else that like really messed with my head was I went from living this one reality to
Mm-hmm.
over and just, okay, I'm home with my family and
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't have access to anything that I had access to before. And so it was like,
Yeah.
wow, it's like the world telling you, the universe, take a seat, and this is like the way to humble me.
Yes.
And it's great because I am taking obviously now everything in a much better mentality, way
Mm-hmm.
better mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the biggest messages, like having this big of fall of this big of responsibility, especially when you're like at your peak, you feel invincible, you feel like everything you want happens and all of that, and you're always winning.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, boom, you get hit with unexpected things, and it's it happens very quick. But at the same time that it happened very quick, I look back at the years of the work that I did, and at the end of the day, I was able to work for that. I earned it myself. It wasn't, my family didn't come from anything. And so I know that we can always rebuild. And we are, at the end of the day, we are in a country that allows us to do that.
So true, so true. Land of opportunity and land of relationship building, land of really getting yourself taught or getting a coach and things like that. I was just watching Rory Vaden's interview with Omar, and he talked about Lewis how when he met him in his basement, and Lewis Howe is big name, very big name. And that's how Rory started the company. He didn't want to start the company. He sold it in 2018, Rory and AJ, and made some good money. But then they didn't want to start the personal branding business, right? Which they are doing very well at. And Ed Milet and all these big people and Amy Porterfield, they have helped lots, 29 people, I think, make New York bestseller authors and
wow.
big, yeah, amazing people, Rory and AJ. But one thing he said was that Lewis Howe had 17 streams of income. What? I was watching it and I said, holy moly. Then he said, only one stream of income you need to be the best at. That's the message I got from him this morning.
Oh,
He says if you're into dabbling into 17 different things, you're ineffective and you get not so great results. You got
yes.
to double down, triple down, quadruple down, 100% down into one stream of your talent. What is that? And that's what he shared with Lewis. How? Because he loved podcasting. That's what he said. He said, Lewis Howe loved podcasting. We said, let's really have that stream of income. He gave up mastermind. He gave up lots of other things that he was doing that he didn't enjoy. Lewis Howe
Hmm.
said, and then podcasting started into millions of downloads as he
Wow.
got good at, and now it's probably one of the top, maybe 0.001% of the
Yeah.
podcasts in the world, Lewis Howe.
Yeah. No, it's
Chord
amazing.
with me this morning. And did it strike chord with you too? I said, who am I, Vinney? And what am I trying to accomplish? What's my number one strength? And double down, triple down, 100 times down on that path. How do you think about this what I just shared?
I think that was a great message
Mhm.
that really helps me even continue diving deeper at what I'm doing, because
Yeah.
and then there's something that's funny as well, because whenever I'm meditating in the mornings, all I've been asking for is some type of, I just want to be able to see something happen in my life that is a sign that I'm moving in the right direction. And that's something that in the past I would see a lot, right? What I'm telling you is, for example,
Yes.
when I was building a business, like exactly like you gave me the example earlier, you're thinking, oh, I need to do this. And you just give it a thought. And then boom, next day you are here talking about personal branding, and you're going to have people that are going to be able to help you out when it comes to this. But it was
Yeah.
just thinking of, okay, this is where I need the help. This is where I need the support. And boom, you attract it to your life, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so every morning, and so that's what a big difference in where my life was before and where
Mm-hmm.
I'm and where I have been. Where it was like before, I'm building, and at every stage is a new challenge, and I knew that, right? And I face challenges head on, and I knew that the people that I needed, or a resource that I needed to be able to help me surpass that challenge, will present to my life. And I had so much trust and faith in that, and it would happen all the time.
Yeah.
Now, in the recent, like the last few months, I didn't have that. I mean, my mind wasn't there. And
Mhm.
recently, I'm rewiring my brain again. I'm rewiring my brain again. And now I'm telling myself, when I'm asking for these signs again, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing them, you're one of them. And because, number one, you were talking about Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, that same exact video, okay, of the seasons, specifically talking about the seasons. My mom
Yes.
was talking to me about that on Sunday. Okay, so
Oh,
Sunday she's telling us she was watching Tony Robbins when he was like really young. It was in Spanish, and I understand what we're going through, but in life you have these seasons, and you need to be prepared when these seasons come, because we're gonna have winter, we're gonna have spring. It's part of life, right? It's these cycles
yes.
of life. So that was one. The other one is so she hadn't watched Tony Robbins before, and then the other one was that she hadn't watched Lewis House before. So literally the same weekend as well, she watched Lewis House for the first time. She was watching his interviews, and she starts telling me about Lewis House as well. So
Aha.
start seeing like these inspiring people, these messages. And another thing that has wise that is helping me is having the people that really bring the best out of you. Like you are one of those examples, right? I don't talk to many people currently. You're one of the few people that I have a connection with and that I speak to on the regularly. And
I really
and it's
appreciate
because
that, Luis. I really do. I like you. I see who you are. And I just feel like I think we are mutually helping each other to really live through what life has in store for us and come out as winners. That's the beauty of it. And I love talking to you every Tuesday morning. And now I would love to start walking, brother. This is amazing. I will always be walking now every Tuesday morning. I know. Thursday morning, I walk with Walter Amarillo with the Abundance Mindset Show. And then I'm in the studio actually with Bo and I when we record Vinney and Bo show. But this is Vinney and Luis show.
so those are really important things. So yeah, man, I'm very grateful for you. Thank you
So how
for
about
your
action steps? Maybe before we wrap up, actually, I'm just heading back to my home. But yeah, what CTA, call to action? I think that's huge. As a matter of fact, I'd love to share with you something today with everybody watching. If you are watching this podcast, or if you make it into a podcast, we don't know yet, but, or the YouTube, it may be worth it. I think what we are discussing is life. We are discussing the
life.
ups and downs in life, and that's what it's all about. We are never at the peak all the time. We are never smiling. Vinney Smile Chopra. Yesterday, I was not smiling. I'm a little bit smiling today. But the key thing is Linktree. I used to use Linktree before, and now Linktree has become very elaborate. And you could put videos and this and really call to action, because you don't know what your avatar wants from you. So I just made a Linktree Pro account, Brother Walter, And he says, Vinney, social media doesn't treat links as nicely as they should. So by putting links in the post, you're diverting their attention and you're throwing them to go to YouTube, and then they may never come back to get the whole story. Anyway, so in the bios on the top, we are putting Linktree link, so that everywhere, if people want things from Vinney Chopra or my team, they could go, and it gives you a variety of ways to really see what they want, and that will help. So what do you think about it? And I know you're a digital guru, man. So we should really talk about this before we wrap up today. Give us some.
Yeah,
Huh?
I can expand on that for sure. I can
Please.
expand on it. So, as you were saying, having different links and stuff like that, when it's especially a stranger and somebody that may just come across you for the first time, or even in person, let's say,
Yeah.
you're just meeting, right? They always say first impression is
Yes.
always very important. But there will always be this one thing that people gravitate towards, or that stands out the most, right? And
Yes.
if you want that to be associated with what you do or who you are, then everything else around it, or that's nearby, needs to be able to support and bring that out, right? It needs to be able to highlight that. That's why on the internet, whenever you have all these different links, somebody that's confused that which link I should go to, or there's like too much there, a confused person doesn't take the next step. And so you need to have that order, right? Bringing it back to now my life, right?
Yes.
What I'm like, okay, my brain is scattered and there's so much things that I need to take care of. Number one, write it down, right? Be able to take what is on your mind and put it down so that you could visually see it, and you're not consistently thinking about it, because then you're not present, right? And you're still thinking about that, what just happened, but you come back to it, you see it on that piece of paper, and now you could organize it in terms of priority, in terms of what needs to get done, or there's something that has a deadline, right, to be able to take action. So the very first thing is, there's this phrase called as above, so below, and as outside from within. So meaning that your inner world is, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, right? And things like that. That's why we need to have order, and we need to be organized with everything that we do.
So true, so true, so true. Inner world is what you reflect outside. Outer world is there, but the inner world has to be calm, poised, directed north, like Stephen Covey says, true north. And that's so important in life. No, it's been tremendous, brother, getting together with you. See you next Tuesday morning, and I'll be walking. I'm going to put myself a reminder, not in the office studio, but enjoy the walk, get some oxygen, do the miracle morning with you. The miracle morning with Luis, brother Luis. I love it. I love it. So,
Vinney, thank you for your time, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. See you next week. You take care.
All right, Vinney.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you, bro.
Bye-bye.
That's all for this episode of the Investor Impact. Stay tuned for the next episode and don't miss out on the opportunity to learn and grow alongside this powerful inner circle.